You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rudrance for Black and White Sports. Let's talk about Damar Hamlin. As we know, last night on Monday Night Football, very publicly on Monday Night Football for everybody to see, in one of the biggest Monday Night Football games we've had in a very long time, Damar Hamlin got severely injured last night while trying to tackle T. Higgins, a wide receiver for the Bengals. Now, I'm not going to kid you. Initially, I thought there was a helmet shot from T. Higgins into Damar Hamlin's chest. However, there wasn't. Upon replay, there was not. It was a shoulder, and I'll show you some pictures from that. However, Bart Scott, former Jets star, what was Bart Scott? A linebacker? Star linebacker. He's with ESPN now. Has went out and made some very stupid comments. Very stupid comments. Like he egregiously and maliciously set out T. Higgins to hurt Damar Hamlin. Now, I find this ridiculous because you can just look around and you can find the replay of the hit, or you can find freeze-frame photos of the hit that clearly shows he did not launch his helmet into the chest of Damar Hamlin, stopping his heart. He did not do that. Bart Scott should do a little bit of research prior to going on ESPN, and my issue is the odd maliciousness of Bart Scott in all this involving T. Higgins. I don't know what's going on with this. It seems totally uncalled for. But let's get to it anyway, and then I'll show you the pictures of what I'm talking about from T. Higgins. New York Post, Bart Scott bizarrely blames T. Higgins for lowering helmet on Damar Hamlin hit. ESPN NFL analyst Bart Scott received heavy criticism, no kidding, for his comments about Bills safety Damar Hamlin, who remains in critical condition after suffering cardiac arrest on the field during Monday Night Football. Hamlin collapsed on the field at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati after he stood up following a routine legal tackle on Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins in the first quarter of a Week 17 matchup. While discussing the play and NFL rules during a Tuesday appearance on ESPN's First Take, Scott explained that Higgins lowered his helmet, causing Hamlin's chest to be exposed during the hit. Now, what I thought happened was he had just lowered his helmet, but it was more of like a glancing blow, and it certainly was not intentional. But that's not how Bart Scott come out and said this. And like I said, that's not actually what happened. It was a shoulder. Lowered his helmet, causing Hamlin's chest to be exposed during the hit. His comments didn't go over well on Twitter, with some people accusing him of blaming Higgins for the tragic accident. Quote, "The NFL has tried to take the head out of the game," Scott said. "We almost don't think of violent hits. We always associate that with defensive players in targeting and lowering the head, but they put in the rule maybe 5 years ago that offensive players can't use the crown of the helmet as a weapon, which is kind of what T. Higgins did. And I'm not trying to put blame on T. Higgins. Yeah, you are. You just said it. But that's something they tried to take out. They never make the call." Okay, so let's just check it.
Do last night to Hamlin.
Well, right before the tackle, he lowers his helmet and he kind of throws his body into his chest. He's standing up because he's thinking he's got to chase T. Higgins at an angle to make a tackle. So he didn't expect T. Higgins to launch his body back into him. You know, it's one of those things that a lot of times you sit as a linebacker, unblocked, unengaged running back comes through the hole, and he knows that contact's coming, so he lowers his helmet and you can't get underneath him. So he's able to get into you and your chest is exposed. So they've taken that out of the game, but they don't really regulate it as much as possible. I expect the league will be a lot more vigilant when it comes to that.
Okay, so obviously these comments are going viral. There's 1.4 million views on that. But let's just go here. This is the actual hit. As you can see here, the helmet is way off to the left side. Okay, even I thought it was more of a glancing blow with the helmet to the chest. It wasn't. Not at all. That's one angle. And there's the actual other angle. And as you can see, the left side of the chest is not being hit by the helmet. That is most definitely the right shoulder of T. Higgins. So, look, I was wrong. It wasn't a glancing helmet blow at all. But I certainly didn't go out there like Bart Scott and blatantly say, oh, he lowered his head and rammed it right into his chest. My God. He made it sound like this was a malicious hit from T. Higgins, like he lowered his head as a battering ram. And look, we have seen that happen, particularly from running backs, and no, they don't call it. They really don't. They are trying to legislate it out of the game, but they don't call it. That's when First Take host Stephen A. Smith chimed in, asked Scott to further explain what happened during the play while noting that it was unintentional. Okay, but that's not really the way you made that sound. That's not how you made that sound. Right before the tackle, he lowers his helmet and he kind of throws his body into his chest, Scott said. He's standing up because he's thinking he has to chase T. Higgins at an angle to make a tackle, so he didn't expect T. Higgins to launch his body back at him. It's one of those things, a lot of times you see it as a linebacker or running back comes through the hole and he knows the contact is coming, so he lowers his helmet and you can't get underneath him. So, able to get into you and your chest exposed. They have taken out of the game, but they don't really regulate it as much as possible. I expect the league to be a lot more vigilant when it comes to that and using the penalty. They might be, but it's not going to be because of this play. I mean, that's not what happened here. Okay, that's not what happened. ESPN front office insider Mike Tannenbaum also appeared on the show, quote, there are certain things that you just can't take out of the game. It was a routine play. It was clean. It was legal. Obviously tragic what happened. It was absolutely routine, absolutely legal. I mean, you see the pictures right here, right there, and right there. But Bart Scott doesn't know what he's talking about. As of Tuesday, there's no medical confirmation that a hit caused Hamlin to go into cardiac arrest. They still don't know that that's exactly what happened. I've got my ideas about other things that I'm not going to go into here. Higgins tweeted his support for Hamlin earlier Tuesday morning, writing, quote, my prayers and thoughts go out to Hamlin at Hamlin Island, the Hamlin family. I'm praying that you pull through, bro. Love. I mean, there's nothing about this that I believe was malicious from T. Higgins. I just don't believe that. I don't think he was intentionally trying to do something that was illegal, and you can't even really construe that as being illegal, what he did. I don't know what Bart Scott's talking about here. I truly don't. The Bills tweeted, Hamlin spent last night in the intensive care unit, remains there today in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. We are grateful and thankful for the outpouring of support we have received thus far. And they are still doing a lot of tests, hour by hour, day by day, just to see how he recovers. That's why we haven't officially posted anything yet. Bart Scott played 11 years in the NFL. So, yeah, Bart Scott. Now, we've talked about this with Skip Bayless. A lot of people are calling for Bart Scott's head on this. I don't believe in that. I don't, okay? It's a shitty take, and he obviously didn't look closely enough at the play or do enough research before going out there and irresponsibly making this take about a possible... He tried to make it sound like really and truly he speared him with the helmet, and that's not what happened. Yeah, it's a bad take. Should Bart Scott be canceled over this take? No, of course not. Neither should Skip Bayless. It's just that. It's a bad take. Again, I've said it. I'm sure Matrix will agree with me. We don't buy that cancel culture crap for any reason. It's a terrible take by Bart Scott. He's not right. He's wrong. All you got to do is look at the film. All you got to do is look at the pictures. I don't know what he's talking about here. I truly don't. I thought there was a little more helmet contact than that. There wasn't. Plain and simple. That's the way it is. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Bart Scott, it's an egregiously terrible take, and he should not be fired. I mean, hell, ESPN is full of guys with terrible takes. Absolutely. It's bad. I don't know that Bart Scott was trying to be malicious here, just ignorant. It is what it is. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.